Welcome, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. First, I want to thank Miro for this opportunity, for Mariana and I representing Upwork, sharing who we are and how we're using Miro, particularly in this special time, to collaborate with a remote team. Second, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. It's a special time, so I really appreciate that. I want to talk about the agenda today. Spend around 5 minutes, talk about our speakers. Then we'll do a little icebreaker. I'll introduce about Upwork, what we do, and how we use Miro in this kind of distributed model. The majority of the time we'll be spending on this remote collaboration. Mariana will be leading us through that. Then at the end, we'll wrap up and have time for Q&A.
Hi, everybody. So hi, you guys. I'm Mariana Almeida. So I work for Upwork out of the San Francisco office, and I am currently working from home in Berkeley, and it's been really challenging. Kind of the ideation that we're gonna do today is our attempt to do a couple things at once, kind of teach you this method that we use at Upwork, which is not that unusual, but kind of we have our own flavor to it. And also to discuss how might we get a little better at this working from home thing. So really glad to be here, really glad to be able to share Miro board with you guys. It's something that we use a lot. And if you guys can mute yourselves, there you go, thanks. And Can?
Mariana. Hey guys, I'm Ken Wang, product designer at Work. I'm based in San Francisco, been working from home full time since early March, I think, and definitely adapting to this change. And even before that, we used Miro a lot, but now we pretty much use it every day for all type of purposes and collaboration. So I have to share with that today. And before we get into that, we do want to spend some time to do a little icebreaker. And the way we're going to do it here, if you can enjoy your attention to this kind of world map, is we want to know where everyone's from and which organization we come from too. So the way we're going to do this is on the left of your Miro board. Let me come here. You'll be able to find this icon finder, and in there you can just use any icon that represents you the best. For me, I'll just go with copy of it today, and I'll just pick a random one and drop it into wherever I'm located. I'm in San Francisco, so just put it here. And you can also right click to put a comment in there. For example, I'll just say my name, I'm at Upwork, and San Francisco, and that'll just put a comment there. So I will spend about 5 minutes there. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll at the end of it, we'll try to see where everyone's from.
This is amazing. I don't know if I've been in one where there's been quite as many people at one time. Yeah, so if you see where it is, like on your Miro board, so you have to be on the Miro board and not the Zoom, right? And find the little icon tray, and then you would search. Like when I did this, I put down like a little purse or something, a bag, and then that was me. Oh, good, and people are doing it. There's the little happy face.
There's a happy cat. That's awesome.
Oh, good, and we can get in closer. So the icon tray, you have to be on the Miro board, right? So not the Zoom meeting. So this is, if you're watching things moving around on cans, that's the Zoom meeting. And then the icon tray is underneath the 3-dot menu on the left. There we go. Icon finder, yeah. You see there's a lot of different things you can do in that 3 icon. So here we're using the icon function. We're also using the comment function. And the comment function is, as you guys probably figured out, that little sort of dialog box. And that in my experience, you can always have, like, even if somebody doesn't really have access to your board, they can always have access to that, which is a great thing. So they can leave you a note.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for putting that together. I think majority are in the US, but definitely I think we have folks from, I saw one from New Zealand. I think that's welcome. I think this maybe somewhere in Asia or Europe. There. Welcome, guys. Yeah, and feel free to click on people's comment to see what they said. But anyway, that's just a quick icebreaker. Thanks for sharing that. Next, moving on, we have a question board here. So we definitely want to start the conversation early. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them here. Yeah, since you're moving with me, it's awesome. Already put some stickies here, so you can just double click and start typing things or copy and paste to put your stuff in there as well. You're also welcome to use the Zoom Q&A. We'll go through that at the end of today's session. We introduce Upwork. So we are a leading flexible talent solution, and our goal is really to be the #1 platform that connects business with on-demand talents. So just like a lot of the companies and products who emerge in a specific time in a specific industry, we think ourselves as the the marketplace that for work that connects business with flexible talents. Here we're sharing a freelancing report in America done last year. I won't go through any detail here, but I think you're starting to see a lot of trends. And although this is research done in America, but I think we're seeing more trends in the world as well. That is, there are definitely more freelancers coming, either through a full-time job or as they're doing their full-time job, they're still freelancing on the side. You see the growth in terms of the income as well as younger generations who are embracing freelancing. There are definitely a lot of more companies who are finding more needs for on-demand talents. It provides a lot of flexibilities for both the freelancer and the clients. And technology is a really big part of this. Whether it's Upwork or Zoom, all the communication tools that enable us to do remote work that's never been done in the past. And when we say we're the large talent platform, it really shows in the numbers. And that's the number of work done every year, our clients each year from all over the world, and also a number of freelancers and agencies. So on our platform, you can find both individual freelancers or agencies for those bigger projects. And we've done this through 180 plus countries. You can easily be somewhere in the US and working with people in Asia or Europe, what have you. And that really boils down to our vision and mission, where we want to establish Upwork as the #1 provider of flexible talent solution in the world. And our mission is to create economic opportunities so people have better lives. And I have to say, at this special time, this mission is becoming more critical and also more rewarding every single day. And of course, we try to make work fun. Previously we do a lot of social gatherings. Um, all the pictures were taken before this pandemic. It's those times. I'm sure, when everything back to normal, we'll start doing that again. And also, we treat our employees and their pets as importantly as our customers. So the future is distributed. So is our product and design team. Here, I'm just sharing an example of the Scrum team I work with. You can tell here that almost none of us, are in the same location, and it's been the way for years. I joined Upwork for a little over a year, and I work with different teams, different projects, and it's pretty much the same model. And I think a lot of the technology definitely enable us to do that. But there's definitely, and besides technology, there's a mindset shift and also a cultural shift in order to achieve these goals. So I put this slide together previously, but now I realize there are definitely people, I think, coming from different functions. Here are just the positions we're hiring for design and research, but we'll definitely have more positions for product managers, engineers, sales, and support. So I encourage you to go to our career website and see if there's a good fit for you. The message here is we're still hiring.
Now you're seeing my screen, so I'm going to zoom out here. And so this just to kind of show you, like, this is our whole agenda, right? So this is one of the things you can do on Miro, is make these really interesting sort of little path agendas. And we, copied this from somebody else that we thought looked really cool. So what we're going to move to doing now, oh, there we go. Over here on the right, we're going to do a little exercise. Oh, look at that little stray sticky. I'm going to change that. So our exercise today that we're going to talk about is we're going to use this particular kind of double diamond type of design thinking for this problem, which is, what challenges are you facing as we all work remotely during this pandemic, right? So challenges, problems, like what has been happening for you. So we're going to spend some time generating a whole bunch of problems here on the right side with these yellow stickies. And then we're going to together kind of group them into themes and then vote on the ones that we like. And based on the ones that we think are most worthy to kind of focus on, the top 3 themes, we're going to then ideate. We're going to come up with ideas to address them. This may look familiar to some of you, and go ahead and start if you are so inclined while I talk here. So the question is, what are the challenges that you are facing? So in this case, we very much are the users, or we're the topics of discussion here. So, but if this were more a product, this would be the research phase, where we are doing some research, understanding who our users are, what are their problems, and then we would be kind of clustering that. But the idea right now is that we're going to generate ideas. We're going to go broad. So on those yellow stickies, we're going to generate idea of problems that people are having now. And then we're going to converge. We're going to evaluate those ideas and cluster them and converge on a handful for us to solve. And this is like that design thinking double diamond. So you guys who are, certain kinds of organizations or have certain kind of backgrounds in design have probably heard about the double diamond. So this is just our particular take on it, abbreviated. Yeah, so people are all over this. This is great. Lack of communication and structure. Oof. Yeah, feeling less productive for sure. Right, the work is shifting, clients are reprioritizing. But this is so great. You guys are probably going to put in exactly the ones that I was thinking. Right, having to retool something that was going to happen in person to have it be remote, and how do you do that on the fly? And then one thing that you can do when you are kind of facilitating is, depending how this goes, you can just ask for clarification, and people can provide it either verbally or on the sticky. So I'm curious about the dealing with my ego, what that one means. If anybody wants to add more color to that. Maybe that's around kind of feeling like I'm not doing a good enough job. Yeah, mental health. Ugh. Liking it too much. My daughter, yes, she's 13, natural born introvert. She ain't never gonna come out. She is loving it. She is on YouTube all day long, watching little things. She almost has, she's been home about 3 weeks. She's literally gone down the stairs to go out 2 or 3 times. This is great. I am not watching the time, so let's see. How are we doing, you guys?
We're good on time, and I put a few more sticky out there if people want
Okay.
to rant more. Maybe
So
1 minute.
I'm going to start doing the next part, which is where we start grouping them. Yeah, so the grouping is a little bit of a judgment call, kind of based on what you see. And you guys can help if you feel so inclined. Ways to maintain. So just problems with maintaining motivation, right? So I think there's some things related to that. I think there's things with disrupted routines and not quite knowing kind of what to do with that. I'm overdoing it with coffee. So maybe that's around disrupted routines. So not quite knowing where things should start and end, right? So it's still 3 p.m. Should I still be having coffee? Ideating remotely with disparate team members. So there's definitely something around, yeah, kind of new ways of working, or like you have to struggle, right, to find new ways of working. And what's the transparency one? Yeah. Retooling. Yeah, so maybe that one. So sometimes you're going to see things that are sort of similar and you start kind of putting them together. So I think you guys are getting the hang of this, but basically where we would do this, just to kind of give you a flavor, is in the beginning of, say, a project, after we know some things about the problem space. Maybe we know lots and lots of different things. So we know different facets of a theme, right? And so we know a lot of specific information, and we need to kind of abstract up a couple levels and find the commonality, and decide, okay, all these things, you know, my mental state, they're really around, it's everything from being worried, actual mental health issues, maybe kind of spinning out because you have too much screen time, struggling with boundaries, that whole sort of thing. You can wrap it up in a single, you know, couple words, and that is the theme that you're wrestling with. This is great. So it looks like there's a lot of people who are still at it. Usually in our smaller teams, we would kind of run out of energy at some point. I think we're not going to wait for that because I think we could just keep going with this. But let's do this. This is when we want to capture the green stickies, or actually we're going to duplicate them and put them over to the right. So if you right click a green sticky, you can duplicate it, so the exact words on it, and then we're going to take the duplicate and put it on the right. So I'll show you. Duplicate. So I'm going to move maintain motivation over there. This is great, you guys. You're doing it. And then we're going to do a little voting. And Miro has this cool little voting feature. It actually will like time it down for you. Awesome. So essentially what we're going to do at this point is we have lots of different ideas of sort of problems, and we're going to pick 3. And we're going to decide which are the 3 that we're going to apply our kind of ideation towards. Great. And then when you're done, you can click the little done button. And then the other thing that we discovered when we're actually using the voting feature is that it won't tell you what the votes are while the voting is happening, which is great. So people aren't kind of influencing one another.
Yeah, if I have put a timer, it'll just end it at the end.
Okay.
So only the person who started voting can see, can see the results, but since I'm presenting, so you'll be able to see the results as well.
Nice.
Oh, it's actually pretty quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then we'll be able to see the top ones.
Maintain motivation, navigating the organization and work, competing priorities. Ugh, everything got a lot of votes, like equal votes.
Yeah. Mariana, how about we take maybe the top 4?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the ideation part. So again, we're going to go broad, right? So this is about kind of let's solve these. So what are some things, we're going to solve our mental state. What are some things that you could suggest to people who are experiencing these things? And I'm sure, like you and me, you are having these conversations a lot with your friends on the phone. Yeah. I think one of the things that's been helpful to maintain motivation is just frequent check-ins for me with different people, and smaller kind of deadlines, really, like what am I going to get done by 2 hours from now, not what I'm going to get done 2 weeks from now. Quarantine goals can be on board.
Yeah, stand-up comedy. Wonder if that can be done remotely.
It can, but you can't, it's not funny. Make it a point to talk to others more. Yep. Yeah, I've been doing that instead of using a lot of instant message. I've just been saying, can we just talk for 5 minutes? Journaling. Yeah. Cut yourself some slack. Yeah, we've started to talk about that more actively on my team, related to essentially not lowering the bar exactly, but allowing yourself to do kind of a little bit more scrappy job. Oh, okay. Somebody put in a helpful link.
Yeah, one cool feature you can do on Miro is if you, let's say, go to a website, if you just copy in the URL, once you put paste, it's creating a little card for it. You can have a little preview rather than just the URL.
This is great. Yeah, so where we are in this exercise, just to kind of ground you guys again, is so these are the different ways of sort of thinking about this double diamond. So we did these diverging, where we put together a whole bunch of different problems that people are having. The converging was about, let us now kind of group them and then vote on them, and then we open it up again. So this is about the solving, right? And then if this was very much a product, like in my world, we would then begin picking some of the ideas that showed promise and do something where we could kind of build it or do some sort of test on it and iterate on it so that we can refine it, right? So then it's the build, test, iterate, on, and then finally put it out there in the world. So it's the research, synthesis, ideation, and then implementation. And I think the implementation stage is going to be up to you guys. because this is sort of a personal topic where we've been talking about things that we're all experiencing. And I think for me, it's super helpful to just even hear that, you know, people I don't know are having a lot of the same problems that I'm having, and they have a lot of the same ways of addressing them, and some new ones too. Yeah, so this is great. So I think we're gonna wrap up. People can still noodle over here. Our next thing was gonna be, again, kind of something we picked up from a previous presenter. We'd love to get your feedback. And the way she did it is with this, 2x2 grid with, let's see, knowledge gained and knowledge application. So what can you apply? Like, do you feel like you can apply what you've learned? And do you feel like you gain some knowledge? So then here, how you vote is you drag one of these little dots over. Am I moving the whole thing? Let's see. No, I'm not. I'm just moving my screen. So you would drag a little dot over, and
I like people are changing the color for their dots as well.
oh yeah, that's great. So this can apply to things that you've learned around using the Miro board or around the exercise, anything at all, or even visually, like how to put together an agenda that's more visual. Anything around kind of Zoom, or even Zoom and Miro together. So, or even the icebreaker. We lifted the icebreaker. I'm going to use that over and over. And then any other questions, or over down below, we have grab a sticky note and tell us what you think. So this is the accolades, improvement, suggestions. We do it sometimes by calling it the rose, the bud, and the thorn. So the rose is kind of the part that went well. The thorn is something to improve, and the bud is kind of like that new thing, or suggestions for the next time. And I'm curious, you guys, how many of you are designers and have used this kind of process before? I can create a little tiny board here on the fly, or a frame on the fly. I could say, I'm in design. So people in design can put a little dot there. I'm not in design. Because I'm curious, like, for people who are in one or the other, how easy to grasp this is. And you can move a little dot. So I'm in design, but I don't know if I would actually call myself a designer. Yeah, so like design research, it's all the same to me. I'm going to say design and research. Thank you, whoever was trying to be very precise, but I won't let you. I think this person was over here. That's great. Yeah, a lot of these ways of working I'm seeing are showing up in education. A lot of teachers know how to do this sort of thing, or are learning. It's very easy to transfer. Yes, because you're in design, you have to make it prettier. That's right. The lone dot of the person who's not in design.
That's
Oh, that's you?
yeah.
Hilarious.
For those of you who don't know, I actually work at Miro. I'm part of the community events team. So I've been working with Hannah and Mariana on this event. So that's why I'm here.
Here, I'm going to make yours really big, Natalie.
That's funny.
Oh, and now somebody's linking them. For what purpose, I don't know. We're all designers together, or we're going to move other people from design into not in design. Anyway, so we're just about at the end. I'm just going to peek at the accolades and suggestions here. It's great. Yeah, feedback template. What could be better? Having just one facilitator to focus on. Yep. We could have dot voted on the solutions. Yes, we could have. Yeah, would appreciate a new quick how-to before suggesting we do something. That's true. Yeah, we could have done that a little better. Center in particular, how might we? It'd been nice to have some people talk other than facilitators. Yeah, I never know how much people want to talk. I think that would have been totally fine. I think people get shy once they're quiet. They don't want to talk, but if people want to unmute and talk right now, please do. We have 8 minutes. Could have done something more complex, sure. I think that's about people's different kind of skill level with this. This is great. Natalie, I don't know if you have any other kind of things to wrap up to talk about, or if you want to just open it up for any questions.
Yeah, I think now would be a cool time if you guys had any questions for Ken and Mariana. And I do want to plug in Miro just a little bit. If you guys have any questions about Miro, please see our events page, events.miro.com. I'll leave it in the chat if you guys want to see more events. This is a really cool and new community that we're growing. So we're kind of ramping up our events now, especially now in this time, everything's virtual. So we're still troubleshooting and exploring the best way. So if you guys have any suggestions or, just want to learn more about our events or Miro in general, just shoot me a message on the chat and I'd be happy to connect.
Do people have any actual questions with Miro and how to do things?
I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hey, Mariana, I wonder how does it work when you want to have 2 or more teams working in parts of the board?
Yeah, it's very possible. You would just create a very large, wide board, and they're just apart, and they can do it. Are you wondering how well it functions?
Trying to work out how do you replicate the situation where in an in-person facility activity where you would go to breakout groups and have one facilitator with this group and one facilitator with that group, and whether you need to use different Zoom channels or something like that to be able
got it.
have different facilitators moderating different groups.
Right. So that is a combination of Zoom and Miro together. And with Zoom, depending on kind of your plan and the thing that how you set it up, there's this thing called breakout rooms. So you would make essentially 2 different breakout rooms. And so then the people in each room can only hear one another, but they can be on the same large Miro board together, but kind of on different sides. That's great. Great question. Thanks, Nick. Anybody else?
Do you just, for the beautiful, what do you think section, do you just have a template that you import as opposed to just creating it every time? Or is there a way of doing that?
Any part of a Miro, you can decide you will make into a template. So I forget exactly how you do it, but if you in the knowledge base or whatever, but it if you like something you made, you can just keep on reusing it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can jump in and show you.
Okay.
I'll just share my screen real quick so you can see. So I'm sharing my screen. So here, there's an option This is where the templates live. Loading right now. So we already have pre-made templates that our designers have made. So you can group it by use cases. So we have, and these are all free, like on the free plan for Miro. So if you just want to try it out, we have all of these templates already embedded into Miro, and it's sectioned off by use case, which is really cool. And then if you want to create your own, so you can create within Miro your own like graphs or diagrams, and you can just when you select on the board, you can select and add it and save it as a personal template, and you can make it public or private depending, and just share it off to people. But there's already a lot of cool templates that you can take and iterate on as well.
And I think someone's asking, or a couple people have asked, can they get this template?
Yes, I will, if you guys want me to send you this template, I think the easiest way is if I just email it to you. But also this link to the board is already sent to everyone's email, so the link won't expire. So if you want to just click on that link within your email to this board, you can save the template on your own, or I can email you this template if that's easier. So just chat me on Zoom privately and I will send you the template.
And how do you save the template, Natalie?
So in the tab that I showed, there's a section where you can create your own template.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So even though this one is like not mine to start with, it was you guys's, it'll save on mine.
Correct. So I will.
Ah, nice. Okay.
I'll just share my screen real quick just so everyone could see. So right here, didn't find the right template, you can create your own template, and then you can just grab what you created, and then there you go, there's your template.
Okay, got it. Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay well. Use those tips we generated. And we'll see you around.
And I will email everyone the template right now.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care.